All right. Okay, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Hope you all are having a very blessed day today. It is a Sunday. It is the 4th. Or is it the 4th? 5th? 4th today. So 6 days until the next APEC, the first APEC of year 3, coming up next weekend. Gonna be epic. But that's not what I promised today. Today I have promised you all megaliths, pyramids, ooparts, Antiquitech, and the rest. So let's get into that. Why did the picture not open? Here we go. Will it work now? Yes, it looks like it will. Okay. Is it what? Come on. Is it good? There we go. Okay. So, this right here supposedly like clear what I suspect would be geopolymer brickwork, obviously, with this polygonal megalithic wall structure. And can anyone guess where this is? This right here. And can you hear me now? How is the sound now that the music has stopped? But any guesses in the live chat where this polygonal wall, megalithic wall, is located? Because it turns out, I'm going to let you put your answers in. All right, if maybe there's a delay. It's in Montana. This is in Montana, which is right below me in southwestern Alberta, Canada. Montana borders me, and this is supposedly in the Rocky Mountains, Montana. So, yeah, what a shock. And not just this one, we have more. Oh my, it's being low. Oh, sorry, wrong way. Is it gonna work now? My computer is being really slow. Sorry, everyone. Not sure why. Okay. I guess I'm just gonna have to open up each one individually. And this is going to be a pain in the butt unless it wants to actually work. Oh, there we go. It's changing. Finally, yes. So this one also, right? Oh, it looks like just boulders. It's natural. No, look at that perfect angle. And we see these in those geopolymer polygonal megalithic walls. This also in Montana here. And like they say, Giants Playground, and I believe it. This stuff it had to have been made by giants because it is all absolutely giant. And it's from a time of people long ago, the time of the Younger Dryas event, and before then, when there was the megafauna. Okay, we had the saber-toothed tigers, the mammoths, the mastodons, the different dinosaurs or dragons, so giant insects they have found, the invertebrates of the sea, everything just absolutely huge. So, of course, there was giant humans of that time, too. So this one also in Montana, USA, and all around the world. Right, liquid stone, exactly. Diet Dazzle. When they poured it, the geopolymer techniques. Gary Baxter, hello. Daryl Calhoun, welcome. Cassandra, Crystal Shaman, Huru TV, Matt F Graph, Antediluvian American. Esra, Mindful Exposures. Welcome, sister. Marcia Lee. I said Huru TV, I'm pretty sure. Holiday, Simulacre, Johnny Bones, S. Sinandra, and gotta find That's just me, Brian Evans, and of course, love. And I love you all. And now that I have gone through everyone, Geopolymer history, well, that's a synchronicity. We are showing Geopolymer and exactly the topic that is on screen. Cassandra, there we go. Sorry. And if I've butchered anybody's names, my apologies. Is there fossils? Is there any fossils of giant humans? 1000% there is. It is called biogeology. And I would even say that there is a chance, just at first glance, okay, that if this isn't geopolymer, this could be biogeology and potentially a fossilized giant or titan. But most likely, I believe it's a cast statue of former giants. But Stellium 7, my good friend Mike, I'm going to be doing an episode with Stellium very soon, and he is the expert on this biogeology, as he has rightfully labeled it and dubbed it. Sean, welcome. Terran Earthling, welcome. Simulacare. Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm butchering things today. Hidden in the Smithsonian basement. Yes, it is. Sorry, that right there is guilty of cottonmouth. What happens when Bernie, the Burn Cron Canadian, smokes too much pot before starting a stream and having to speak for God knows how many hours we're going to go for. All right. Anyways, so if this hasn't blown your mind, because it absolutely has blows my mind and reblew my mind right before we went live here, when I refound this and looking at them, that this is so close to me. So that first, I'm going to be going in the next week or two, finally 1 to 2 weeks from now, probably 2 weeks more likely, and I'm going to be putting all the details out and planning it in the next few days here in the coming streams as we put it together, but going to the MedicineHat Badlands Guardians locations here to investigate this site and get the drone up and look at all of these different ancient faces, sculptures, these geoglyphs from the sky, identical essentially to what's down in Peru, Bolivia, and throughout all of South America, really, and Central America and North America, as it shows. This one clearly what looks like Moai and Easter Island heads, potentially, of the Hawaiian and different Micronesian, Polynesian, essentially Lemurian peoples and cultures, races, islands that are left over of those kingdoms. Also in this one, you can see the Olmec on the top, as well as the indigenous Western Plains Aboriginal warrior, and what looks like potential Viking or even ogre or something on top of the very top of the head. Hilarious. I forgot that my microphone and my cell phone is on outside, and I was like, where is that bird coming from? But no, of course, that's outside. The magpies and the crows is what you've been hearing. And that is the microphone you're hearing of the bird, showing the different monoatomic colloidal ormus, also known as GANs, materials. that I'm going to be doing all of the electroculture or agricultural tests with today. Later today, actually going to set up the second location and officially getting the trials beginning and watered and in the ground, and it will be interesting. All right, so yes, this is what we call geoglyphs and the geoglyph radials. This is another satellite image of this MedicineHat Badlands area, and what Arthur Fairham, the discoverer and I guess rediscover and lead professor academic on the science of geoglyphology, this lost ancient high-tech mapping technology and system that it's visible only from high above. Now, whether it's astral travel or dreamland or airships, blimps, UFOs, plasmas, whatever need be, drones. It's from above that this mapping system really was built for on this macroscopic terraforming scale of this entire valleyways that they did and made these sites and did this raised earthenworks of these lines and angles that plot out to the different radials that create this territorial map, these exact topographical locations around the world, like the tip of Greenland, Hawaii. You've got the Giza pyramids, you've got the Bosnian pyramids, you got like the tip of Finland and Norway, you've got Mexico City, you've got, what is that, the Canary Islands or and Cuba, like so many different actual places that are precisely plotted out around the world by this geoglyphology mapping ancient earthenworks that Arthur Fairham has found, and that it is a key part of the MedicineHat Badland Guardian site. And it was Arthur Fairham who originally discovered and brought notice and fame to the MedicineHat Badland Guardians, even though he's not officially given credit for it anymore, or like he is like officially recognized, but like on the internet, you will hear so many other people take claim and like try to not give it to him, but it's documented that he started his research on it and decoding all of these 5 geoglyph radial sites almost a decade before like he published his work on it over a decade before it started trending or got discovered on the internet, basically. And this right here is a larger overall site of the valley sites of the potentially 10 different huge faces, sculptures, whatever they are, and that whatever peoples or culture society that built this macroscopic site of geoglyphology and putting their literal faces into the landscape, or was this a flood? Was this was this the death of the Titans? Is this could this be a Titan bodies? Who knows? That's what we're gonna go investigate. That could just be as likely that the story of the Old Testament and the floods of Noah, that the giants all drowned. This could this be a site or a massacre of them, and then that the indigenous people afterwards came in and made these new geoglyphs? Who knows? that's just straight speculation, right? I more likely believe that it was not necessarily these being titans, but rather the giants of that time frame created these terraformed mega sites and structures, maybe in memory of the titans past. That said, I have seen many images of what are mountains that resemble actual titans, and that there's several of these mountain titan sites around the world, all recognized by their local cultures as these holy rest sleeping titan mountains, and that the quite possible that they're real, like it, you know they are 1000% real, and that they exist, and that they are these giant mountains that are actually shaped as titans. The question is, are they the remains of actual titans, or did some other society peoples come in with the mega technology to then do the earthworks and terraforming to make them sculpt the mountains into these monuments of titans if they're not actual titans? What I have up right now is the topographical map of the Grand Canyon Pyramid Complex. As you see, each of the peaks of these pyramids and temples, they perfectly align with all of the heavenly stars above in the entire Orion constellation, as well as the corresponding stars that are also in the sky but not part of Orion himself. Each one of the temple peaks perfectly aligning with them, and that they all have the sacred names such as Isis Temple and Shiva Temple, Buddhist Temple, or several of them are called pyramids. There's Apollo Temple, Jupiter Pyramid, the Ottoman Amphitheater. His Solomon's Temple within this complex here in the Grand Canyon. It is absolutely astounding. This is the map. I need to get a higher resolution image of it, which literally names all of the 50 different um, mountain pyramid structures. It's absolutely nuts. It's a macro sized mega ancient civil, like terraformed super city structure, like it, and the legends and rumors of it still existing underground. And if there are such things as like ant people, or reptoids, or elongated skull folk, or everything in between, it would be underground in these ancient mega sites, places that they would still exist. And is that why this is a no-go zone? Is that why they literally went in? And you can see here the wall there used to be a giant opening cave into Isis Temple here. Why did the US government have to go in and cover this entrance up? This is Isis Temple. Look at that giant opening. Why would they spend the resources to go cover up that cave and entrance? Like, each of these are stepped like pentagon and octagonal ancient pyramids that most likely there would have been, they had this whole area dammed, just like they have dammed up with the Hoover Dam. And the thing is that in that area, they flooded it to cover up the ancient city that was there. And, it would have been a lower water level while inhabited, but this area would have been flooded, and that it would have been like this giant lake of Venetian pyramid mountain sort of villa existences that you could see that they went up to different levels of the water level possibly there, and that would have been the Star Fort, Star Citadel sort of way. That's just speculation, but what I suspect and have found evidence of. And that this is all in that same red sandstone, red limestone, white limestone claimed layers that shout out to Paul Cook and all of his work on the geopolymer that he has found in what he calls his blueprint of these ancient megalithic layers. And that this is that same red, white layered material that this entire what do you call it, geological formation or mega super city civilization, one or the other, but that's what it's made out of. Here's a second topographical map of it, once again showing each of the peaks perfectly aligning to the different stars in the Orion system. And if that's not enough, there's also this crazy alignment of the Orion zone, which the Grand Canyon being to the left, and then to the right, Arizona, I believe it is. Yes, there, set out, and all of the current cities. And again, into the Grand Canyon again. There we go. And it's just repeating on a macro scale over and over again. And, and it connects exactly to this place and Dr. Sam Asmanovich's work, and that these were the Atlantean, the Lemurian super civilization pyramid builders that existed before us, and that they were most likely giant people, that they existed during the megafauna times, and they were the demigods, and they probably still exist underground in there today, as the legends tell. So, yes, in the next coming weeks, I am finally going to this place. We are investigating it. We are checking it out. We're going to verify all of these ancient lines, the geoglyph radials, the earthenworks. We are going to do a camping trip out there, as well as YouTube meetup and weekend, making a weekend of it. We're going to try to, anyone that wants to join, do a rent motel spot in Medicine Hat, and then do day camping out here, because I don't know if it's legal or not to camp out there, be out there, but potentially also stay out there. And others, if you want to, on your own risk, do camp out there and stay out there, by all means, we'll join you each day. And there's also this guy part of it, and clearly another road going up to it, because when we look at the overall size, it's a massive valley of different structures. So there's the main road coming out, another side road below that guy. So the big nose Birdman stuff, and the what he's called alien coming out of head, but it's also the Aztec dragon headdress known as, and what also he's labeled as another alien head. Nice roads going through there that look like government or public roads. And then the Badlands Guardian up there is the oil road service road, and that it connects through. Well, that portion isn't on this map pictured here. Anywho, here we go. Now you can see it as it comes up, connecting from that road. Right, so we've got a lot of options of where to camp, because that you could do at the Badland Guardian site itself, or if that's private property, by the Birdman or the Aztec Dragon alien head sites. Also, supposedly these guys right here, the balls, these megalithic perfect ancient balls, also were this is supposedly filmed inside the Medicine Hat Badlands area here. So I also hopefully will get to take some pictures and claim a couple of Bernie's balls. Bernie's megalithic balls hopefully shall be claimed. And you beautiful, awesome people and souls may also claim some balls if they are there, and if you join me out there on this expedition that is going to be epic as heck. All right, so I was ranting on. Oh, yes, we want to go back to, right? So there's that site. So I'm already super hyped about the Medicine Hat Badland Guardian site. Now, just south of the border from Medicine Hat, because Medicine Hat is further south towards Montana and the U.S. border than where I live in Calgary, Alberta. So it's like this is literally just south of that site. These Montana megaliths. All right, so look at that. This is Russia. Look at the polygonal geopolymer work in Russia, and then the Tartarian architecture then built over it. So obviously, the geopolymer polygonal pyramid builder, megalith builders, were a civilization that predated whatever the Tartarian system and society and technology were. Grand risings, everybody. Good day and welcome. Welcome, everybody. Frankie New West Reset, Gerald, Simon, Taryn, Joe Cool, Sarah. All right. Well, now that you're all here, I might as well email you all the links to join in and get your 5 thoughts on this, right? And look at this. This is one of the dolmens of Montana, and these truly are giant Titan megaliths, and it's exactly what I've seen and found myself around Alberta, and it's a corresponding verification of my own theses that I had put together and started to document the evidences of over the last several years, since seeing it with my own eyes and with new eyes, what really exists and what really we live amongst. And I just have to highlight here that I got the little guy back, and my next stream, I will show you the pictures on it. And on this is Mount Yamaniska, and behind it, the Guardians of the Mountain. Man, I got to come up with some sort of epic name for it. It's these like 400 foot like carved guardians. You can see their faces, the shadows of the sun. You can fully see them armed and everything. And then there's a couple more like that are about 100 feet in height up above them. And then these carved staircase up this mountain face, cliff face that goes up. The staircase ascends probably a couple hundred feet, and then it splits into two that then go about another 100 to 150 feet each in opposite directions, thus still being about like 150 to 200 feet above the ground, and then both entering into perfect carved out caves into the cliff face mountain, all on here, and that I'm going to be hiking there and doing a drone trip out there as well this year, but for further exploration, but first the documentation of its actual existence. Now, before I go on with the Montana megaliths, as I need to email out all the invites here, I'm going to play another very special video that I believe is legitimate. And although there's only 4 minutes and 20 seconds, no, 21, I say 420. This is Mystery History, another great channel, 2 channels they do, but of what is the original videos I saw when they first came out on the internet. They were about 20 to 30 minutes long. This is only 4.5 minutes of the overall footage. I've actually seen about half an hour's worth of the overall real footage, and that's why I believe it to be real. And it's absolutely astounding the amount of treasures. Like, you can't fake it. Like, it's oh my god, like it's insane. But they claimed in the live that it was my Persian Iranian friend. I got him to translate and to verify that they were saying, and then I have a brain fart of what they were saying. Oh, Gilgamesh, that they believed that it was the tomb of Gilgamesh. Although now I've heard others claim that it's other Nephilim or other different gods and demigods of the past. Let me know what you think. So it's showing a newspaper headline. This part wasn't in the original, so I'm gonna have to get my friend to check that out. I'm talking over it now as I'm rewatching it once with you, where it's going to be muted and just me talking with my thoughts. Then I'm gonna rewind it and play it with their original sound as I go outside, disconnect my phone before the battery dies, email Frankie, Simon, Gerald, Joe, and anybody. Oh, of course, Sean and Sarah. The link to join, as well as actually it's the Luvian American. If you would like, I can also email you the link to join. Right? And look at all of this. It's Egyptian, Sumerian, Babylonian, the same sort of stuff. that we see all across. And that body looks identical to all of the carvings of these Sumerian, Babylonian, Assyrian demigod beings. But the original 25, 30-minute video actually shows them entering, like the moments, like they are walking through the dark entrance and then getting into the actual chamber hosting the tomb and all of the riches. And it's absolutely nuts. And isn't it? And it brings up the documentation of in that one Chinese pyramid where they found the mummified ancient queen, I believe like in Mercury or something, and that they could like pinch her skin and it was still rubbery and everything. And well, it looks essentially like this is identical but in even better condition. And is this ancient, all of this like golden artifacts and antiquitech jewelry actually preserving their energy state and keeping them, you know, in a suspended animation, essentially, the golden state and golden ages, and that is it kept private because humanity, parts of humanity are so corrupt and ignorant that they might attack or try to destroy and potentially kill these suspended animated real gods and demigods of the past, right? Like, who freaking knows? But I'm going to play it one more time and send the emails out. All right, and all the links to the videos I'm playing tonight, or today, sorry, tonight, this morning, today, depending where you are. I guess if you're in Australia, Asia, New Zealand, it might be tonight. Anywho, it is definitely morning here in Calgary, Alberta, 7:49 a.m. And I am emailing out the links. Simon, it's been to you. Sorry, I have 3 different emails, some accessible on different things. My phone died right as I got to it, so it's just charging, and then I will send out the rest to all of you beautiful souls. And in the meantime, I've got another quick video for you, and right here, who wants their mind blown once and for all? Undeniable perpetual motion machine, easy toy. Anybody can 3D print it, make it, and then you just need a few magnets and metal marbles, and you're ready to go.
Everybody, video here for you today.
Thank you, Simon. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. Well, good thing I was muted because I was also trying to clear my throat there. But 2 of the emails now sent, but I do need to get to my third main one, which is on my phone. So it should be charged by now. So we have, and Gerald, link has now been sent to you. Sean to you, Simon to you. It's gotten out, but I still need to get to Frankie, sir, and Joe, and who else might. There's many, but anyways, I need to get onto that. So I've got another short video lined up for all you beautiful souls and awesome beings joining in right now. And this caught my attention. Kincaid Mounds. Where else is Kincaid famous for? Oh, could it be the Kincaid discovery of the Grand Canyon Pyramid Complex inner tombs, mummies, and treasures? No, yes, that's exactly where the Kincaid name comes from, and that the Smithsonian tried to claim that Kincaid was a fictional character that never actually existed. So let's shout out to Chuck once again. May his soul rest in peace and be watching all over all of us, or exploring all of these ancient sites that he did so well at bringing to us and documenting in his lifetime, and left us a legacy of videos of. And once again, I have already put all of the links to each of the videos I've played in the video description of the video of the YouTube and Facebook and whatnot videos, that you can access them afterwards. So at any point, I just wanted to point out, though, each of these dots are ancient sites, mounds, and whatnot that Chuck has documented and explored. And for those who don't know who Chuck is, CH apps. Oh my goodness. CF-apps 7865 was Chuck's channel. 115,000 subscribers. He deserves all of that and millions more because he documented pretty much a million different ancient sites across Google Earth and Google or Alphabet Corp or whatever the heck you are, or Google's AI for the good of humanity. If you could please find a way to unlock or upload accessible to the public all of Chuck's different sites that he mapped around the world, it would be an absolutely huge service. Either way, until that day comes, we will just have to watch each of his videos and, re-add them to an overall archive. And welcome, Sean, Gerald. Good to have you both with us.
Morning. Yo.
Good morning to ya.
Hey, thought we'd go back to ancient America. I wasn't really planning on doing a video today, but didn't really have any plans and kind of getting on my brother's nerves. He told me to go in my room, make a video. So I think I will. Let's go down to the Kincaid Mounds in southern Illinois. I made a video on this place about 3 years ago. But all I've learned on ancient America, well, this place was very important. It was contemporary with Cahokia. But this is one of those places that is just kind of lost and lonely and just sitting out there. But here you can see the mounds at the site. This was a pretty impressive ancient city, as I said, around the same time as Cahokia. But there is no park here, no way to really visit the mounds except park on this road out here and overlook them from a distance. And that's kind of sad. Some of the cities in the area, there's a metropolis, really. Brookport, High Point, Paducah, Farley, Ledbetter. Those are a few of the cities in this general area here. I'm wondering if any of my subs have ever been to this site. It appears to be fairly lonely and quiet. This is about 140 miles east of Cahokia. And obviously, when the Google Earth imagery was taken, there was a lot of flooding going down in this area. And maybe some of you who live in the area can tell me if this is an annual event, all this flooding out here. These mounds were excavated about 1934, and even on this mound today on Google Earth, you can even tell where the excavations took place. You can see how that mound right there was carved into, right there. But it makes you wonder if they had flooding back then and how often it happened. But these mounds have obviously withstood many, many floods, and they still stand out there today, and just gives credit to the people who built them. These aren't just mounds of dirt, clay, gravel, other things. They were painted in some cases. Sometimes they had stairways, but when this is all, the better we can treat them. You wonder why the apathy towards ancient American history. But that's why I make these videos, just let people know that there's places out there that exist. But this is the look from overhead at this ancient city, maybe 1,000 years old, maybe started a little earlier than that. But here is a diagram of what this place used to look like. Places where people lived, a big wall all the way around it, as many as 9 mounds, and some of them pretty darn large. And even people who are curious about these ancient America sites, is this one place where people would actually stop? That's another reason why I make these videos, just so people have an idea of what they look like, and maybe they would stop at these. But would people tour these if this was an open park? But we can certainly let our mind wander what this place used to look like and what the people were doing who occupied this site. Here is another artist rendition of what this place might have looked like. Now, I was looking for any news stories on the Kincaid Mounds, and I found this one from Heritage Daily. This came out a little earlier this year. The Kincaid Mounds, the mound metropolis of Illinois. It says the Kincaid Mounds is an ancient tribal center of the Mississippian culture that built a large settlement comprising of raised mounds in the present-day state of Illinois near the banks of the Ohio River. The Mississippian culture was a Native American civilization that emerged around 800 AD in the Midwestern, Eastern, and Southeastern regions of America. The civilization was composed of a series of urban settlements linked together by loose trading networks, with the most notable site being the city of Cahokia. So this place seemed to be linked to Cahokia through trade and other things. It says the area around the Kincaid's Mounds was first occupied during the Archaic period between 8,000 to 2000 BC, where the region was probably inhabited by cultures of the early woodland. The founding of the Kincaid's Mound is determined to be about 800 AD, although some sources suggest around 1050 AD. But here are some pics on the ground at the Kincaid Mounds, what they look like on the ground. Not much to be seen, just grass-covered mounds. Certainly looked entirely a lot different in antiquity. It says Kincaid likely served as a trade link between native settlements in the Cumberland, Tennessee river valleys and the metropolis of Cahokia, in which influences of the Cahokian culture is evident in the Kincaid shell-tempered ceramics. Just reading a little more, it seems a few more mounds have been discovered here since I did the video 3 years ago, and they said 9 or 10 mounds existed. But just reading, it says the society revolved around a complex chiefdom structure led by a male chief and his family who exerted civil control over the community, and priests who had religious authority, probably some shaman-type figures. The major construction phase took place in what is known as the Kincaid Middle Component, and that is called the Classic Mississippian Period, in which 19 mound monuments were constructed, with 11 being identified as substructure platform mounds, in addition to a large plaza situated near the nucleus of the settlement. The entire site was surrounded by a large palisade wall of upright logs or posts, with a series of guardhouses or bastions at the intervals of about 100 feet. The palisade may have served as a defensive purpose, but it has also been suggested that it functioned to mark the boundary of the ceremonial site and the seat of the chiefdom's authority. But that is the way it looks from overhead today. Maybe remnants of that wall right there. This is the way artists think it looked a long time ago. Now, I will leave a few links below, but here is the visiting area at the mound site today, where you can go and overlook these from a distance. There is another look at the mounds, but just finishing this one article, it says the Mississippian culture occupation at the site appears to have ended by 1400 to 1450, possibly due to the exhaustion of local resources such as timber and game, a period which archaeologists call the vacant quarter. There's other possibilities, I guess. Maybe disease being introduced into the area is one other possibility, but By about 500 years ago, these people seem to be gone. Now, here is one story, and I read a few like this: prehistoric mound, disturbed, possibly looted. But if you don't have a park, you don't have security here. Obviously, we're going to have some problems like this. Can't we treat our ancient American history just a little bit better? That's all I'm asking. That is a quickie on the Kincaid Mounds here in southern Illinois, center of ancient chiefdom. This seemed to be a very important place about 1,000 years ago in ancient America. Probably these people were trading with Cahokia and also places to the east. Ancient America was one big trade network based on the riverways. You have stuff in Florida from the Great Lakes region. You have stuff at mound sites in Indiana and Illinois from Wyoming. I mean, it's really remarkable how the goods were traded all over ancient America 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago. It's a pretty amazing story, and I'm still looking into it. Thought I would talk about that one today. I don't think I made a video on ancient America in about 3 weeks. Some of these sites I realize are very important after all the videos I've made on this subject. Well, as I said with NEXT in our interview Friday night, some of these places in ancient America, and really ancient America itself, is kind of neglected as far as the importance in ancient history, but we have these pyramid mounds all over ancient America. Some of these sites are just kind of sitting out there lonely, just trying to make it not quite so. Hope you thought that was cool, and you all have a very nice day.
Boop-a-doo-boop. And I'm back. There we go. Okay. And what did everybody think of that one? They're all over the world, all over our local sites in North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Antarctica, wherever you go. They are everywhere. All right. So we have Gerald, we have Sean. What are your guys' thoughts on megaliths around your local terrain, your local stomping grounds?
Those stones coming out of the ground, they're called kettles. And there's a place near where I live called Kettle Point, and it was that's where like all these kettles come out of the ground, and like it's all around the beach lines. And they claim that there was only one other place in the world that did that, and that was somewhere either New Zealand or Australia. I didn't realize you guys had kettles up there too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah, and they have this weird, like they all try to push their way up to the surface. It's a fascinating thing, and they're spherical, and I don't know, it just makes you wonder if they're more.
Right? Like they've got to be. I suspect a lot of it was like plasma catastrophe, sort of like wiped it out, or what destroyed it, or maybe even it was an epoch after they were wiped out, and then there was this some sort of mass plasma heat like event. Like a lot of the pretty much anything that is labeled Badlands in North America is usually a national park or a no-go zone, and that they all have these like what are called fairy chimneys or hoodoos, as well as mounds, pyramids, and then in the mountains you have these megaliths, dolmens, and this is right here is another one of the polygonal geopolymer walls of Montana. And there's identical stuff across Siberia as well on the same tightness scale. Oh, welcome, William.
Greetings, everyone.
A good day.
Yeah, I'm here, man.
I thought for sure Simon was going to pop on.
Right. Sorry about that. I think he's still we're figuring out the sound and video. If B and Gerald, are you with us, good sir? Well, why is
He must be
this?
squirreled away. I found a really good electroculture guy that from Quebec, and he has his own YouTube channel. I don't know if you know about him. I think his name is. It starts with a Y. Oh darn! I wish I could just find it right this second.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about, but half of it is in French.
Yeah, Yannick. Yeah, but on his channel he does full English. You sure some of his pictures.
Yannick, he's awesome.
Yeah,
There we
like he was
go.
teaching how to
And
like
it got
charge
Gerald
water and
back in
stuff.
the conversation.
Sorry about that. I had to step out really quick.
He just had to jumpstart his heart there, you know.
And
But anyways,
shout out Astra Mindful Exposures, who I am just sending the email to, as well as New West Reset.
I
Frank,
found somebody. Sorry, Brian.
Sarah Mindful Exposures made this masterpiece of a logo for Dutch Sense, and it's so epic. But he's having internet issues and connectivity. I sent it to him. I hope he gets it because I know he will love it and it shall lift his spirits. And shout out to Julia, Julia, who is currently down as one of the hosts of Contact in the Desert right now. And she also does the Biomed Expo and the Alien event, which I'm going to try to be a part of, as Rex is also there, as is Sam Osmanovich. And I got to get to Sam so that I can show him not that, but this right here, the Faram Foundation, because I have yet to ever hear him talk about, see, or know about the geoglyphology of his site, and it's a whole nother verification of the Bosnian pyramids being intelligent, constructed, advanced pyramids. And they are in fact built into the geoglyphology mapping system of these ancient megalithic pyramid builders. And Arthur Faram, all on his own, shows that both the walls, the same lengths and measurements applied to his radial geoglyph system, plots out to the specific points of these ancient sites. And that he then discovered in Central America that there was this catastrophism sunken landmass because some geoglyphs were located from the pyramid, the initial pyramid, which he dates to at least 24,000 years ago, due to the fact that of when sites appear and disappear in the geoglyphology mapping and building of all the other corresponding sites around the world, and the more recent updated geoglyphs. And that when you add in the 4 cardinal points of the pyramid, you then get the Bay of Nazarenes. The southern border of Russia still today is built into one of the cardinal points, Gotland Island, and down to Africa's site of many geoglyphs in Cape Town, South Africa, on it. And that stage 2, the moon and the earth pyramids, that also their angles and lengths of them, and then he shows that it's damaged by something, but add to even more specific spots like another current border marker of Russia and I guess Ukraine there, which they're having the war over, as well as directly to Moscow, also built into it, Jerusalem, Tunisia, north tip of Africa, tip of Portugal. And that then also when you add in the triangulation of the three pyramids and how they were built, oh, welcome, Simon, that that also adds another 6 points and new spots as well to these specific spots, including Strait of Gibraltar, north tip of Ireland, and Port Said, Tunis. So many ridiculous places, I think. Yeah. Also, St. Petersburg or Kaliningrad, one of the other. No, the Kaliningrad's there. So yeah, St. Petersburg there. And yeah, it's just absolutely insane how many specific geographical places of power and ancient civilization cities and points are built into this mapping grid of these ancient pyramid sites, and that it's undeniable evidence of highly advanced engineering and mapping of the overall world system and of the existence of these highly advanced places and civilizations and points of civilization through tens of thousands of years and into the pre-cataclysm, prior ice age timeline. And that what the point being of these Moscow borders and these current borders of Russia built into that pyramid, that old Moscow city itself, a citadel city, a star fort city, also has the geoglyphology built into the streets, and the center square point being the radials out of those geoglyphs, and that the Moscow city geoglyphs actually map out current Russian borders, as well as some boundaries between Finland and Norway and Sweden there. And then to top it all off, there was updated Bastion Fort, aka Star Fort, forts built on top of the pyramids themselves, and that these are called colonial era bastion forts, but in fact they also have the geoglyphology science and mapping built into their archaeology and their lengths, their measurements, their walls, and all the positioning of them. And that's what this big center circle is where you're measuring out from. And that it shows the more recent last civilization using and applying this same hidden, suppressed worldwide mapping system. And that here is another one of the bastion forts, the ruins of it still being able to show the geoglyphs on top of the moon pyramid, and it as well showing a whole bunch of new sites, but still the same sites. And that in both the old pyramid walls as well as the newer bastion forts, it gives you this mapped territory right here, which is pretty much the current European Union state, and also what Nazi Germany was trying to conquer at the height of World War II, as well as what they see Ukraine in it, and that I guess the USSR had taken parts of that. And what is that? That's the old Tartarian Empire, and that's once again Europe 30,000 years ago was a different territorial empire than Tartaria and the rest of the Middle East as well as Africa, and that they're still fighting for these same spots today. And this right here is one of the pyramid radials, goes exactly to this Russian-European border marking, and that looks ancient as heck, and it definitely is. And well, that's pretty ancient as heck.
just to highlight how difficult it is to align things over such long distances, just look at the US-Canada border. Because hypothetically, it's supposed to be straight lines for a long bit of it, but it really is not. And it's really easy. You can tell on Google Maps because they cut all the trees along this border. And so there's this giant no-touching zone between the two countries. It's kind of amazing. You can see
Right? And like that, and I know it's.
And you know what? All these
We
connections.
can't even do this stuff today. It's chemistry,
Yeah,
the chemister. What up, Shem? Tartarian Truth. Oh yeah, shoot! I still have to finish sending out that email, and I will also send invite to you, good Shem.
Can you hear me?
Join. Yes, we can.
loud and
Awesome.
clear.
My mic's acting up. So I was just going to say all the connections between all these different ancient sites, they all come down to kind of like an electroculture sense where they brought that electricity down from the stratosphere through pyramids or through star forts, and they brought it and grounded it. And it allowed all the plants to have that energy coming in and completing the circuit. So it makes you wonder, when they talk about the Garden of Eden, was it the Garden of Eden or was it the Garden of the Eden? Just a thought.
Yes, just like Egypt was gypped out of the energy when they took the ark, or Moses, left with
one of
ark.
the arcs. I don't think it was the one that
It's
I
the
did some
perfect
research
measurements
upon
of the,
saying that a while back in Alive.
It's
It
that
was-
Hutchinson remade it, and it was the perfect fit for inside the king's chamber, supposedly.
Absolutely, it was a arc, but there's more than
arc.
one
Yes.
arc.
But I'm saying Egypt, like the pyramids, they got gypped. They were stolen of the energy that used to power it.
Yeah, Moses, or from what
Sorry
the
for
theory
interrupting.
goes, is
Back
that
to
Moses
your
took it out of the pyramid.
den and the energy den.
Yeah, it's an interesting thought by far. So I don't know if it was the actual
density.
What's that?
You could say den as in density.
Ooh,
The energy density
the E
in the
density.
center.
Interesting. Or you could even break it up a little further and go guard N the E den. So you're guarding the E density.
Now we're getting into the real etymology of it all, and I did send the invite to Paul Knight, What the Flock TV. Shout out to him and anyone that is into etymology and the spell casting that spelling is when you write your spells and manifest it into existence. You got to check out What the Flock TV.
So what do you guys think about Eden being in Florida?
I don't really subscribe to that. I believe that it was like Eden everywhere essentially at one point, and that the Atlantis was everywhere sort of thing at one point.
It was a system.
Eden might, I would suspect, if anything, in Eden might be like an off planet or in planet or intra-dimensional plane sort of thing, as opposed to a Floridian spot per se.
I've seen some very interesting architecture that's in Florida, but I don't know. I keep thinking to South America where everything is super overgrown. And we do know that they
still have overgrown pyramid cities everywhere.
And so now they're using ground penetrating radar and flying over, and just between the leaves of the trees, they get just enough data of what's down below there that they can see cities that are just completely covered. So we should really be going out there, on expeditions and searching, on our hands and feet, looking for all these lost civilizations, because how much are we missing out on?
Wasn't there another place up in I think it was the Himalayan mountain? No, was it the Himalayas? I can't remember where this place was. I'd have to look at my research, but they claimed to find Eden there, and it was a spot where nobody is allowed to go, and the two scientists that went there to study it had to commission to the government for years before they actually opened it up for them to go. And when they went there, they found species of birds and plants that haven't been seen